So our hands are similar to our feet, right? Fingers or toes. We have metacarpals instead of metatarsals. So again, we'll do the same kinds of things with our hands. So, you know, you can move your wrists, you can open and close your hands. Just see how that feels, see if they're stiff or not. Circling wrist, because it's all connected. One thing I like to do, so this is a good exercise for your hands and wrists anyway. So see if you can have your hands open, palms out. And keeping these three fingers, your middle three fingers, still and pointing towards the ceiling. See if you can draw your thumb and pinkies towards each other. My right one touches my left one doesn't. So you take your time, do it a couple times maybe. And I like to see if I can get like the pads of my finger or just the tips of my fingers. Just a little bit different movement there. So just see how that feels, because like for me, I have a lot of tightness in this left thumb pad here. Yeah? So you can even clasp your hands, see how it feels, open them up a little bit. Ooh, I got a crack, didn't mean to, not intending to crack, but just kind of see what happens, what it feels like. So again, using either your blue ball or your black one if you have the rounds. If not, it's okay to use a larger ball. It'll be just slightly different, but that's okay. So we're going to start underneath what is the ball of the hand, like the pad, right? The top pad. So we'll just, and the way to get extra pressure on this is using your other hand to press down on it. If you're standing, I guess you can use the weight of your body, but I like to just use the other hand because it's not about cranking into it, right? It's about being soft and gentle into it. So getting under the index finger first. Then we'll move over to that middle finger. And just let the fingers be soft, relaxed around it. We'll move over to that ring finger. And this is a definite reminder to use this other hand, because when you start to engage these muscles, inevitably, for me, something tenses in my hand. So I try to use my opposite hand to add pressure. And again, it might just be the pressure of your hand on there might be perfect for you today. And then we'll get out into the pinky there and press too. And then we'll come out into that thumb knuckle and just soften around there. And just notice, notice any sensations you might feel. No right or wrong. And then we're just going to roll across these four knuckles. So you can use that other hand to guide if you want that extra pressure. Run away, sorry. And then we'll let the ball roll out right into the middle of the palm. And just use the hand, a little bit of pressure. It's nice and soft. You can even make tiny little circles there. Relax the hand. I noticed myself starting to tense up, and even though my fingers were just barely floating off, it's starting to tense those muscles there. So we really want to soften down. So we're just going to move that right into the center of the heel of the hand. Let the fingers plant down and get that little bit of pressure in the center. Again, you can always take that little press and release to find your sweet spot, and then find stillness. And then we're going to roll the ball out to that pinky edge side, the heel of the hand. And just relax and get a little pressure. You can take little tiny little micro movements there. And we're going to roll over to the thumb pad side. And again, just soften and release, or take tiny little circles. We will start moving in a minute along this path. Just notice if you can get that thumb to really relax over there. And then we'll just start to roll back and forth from pinky to thumb side. So really the ball's just rolling between here and here. We're planting the hands. And then you're going to find stillness at the thumb pad, and you're just going to kind of draw it in and out, so cross fibering the thumb pad here. So there's like, I don't know, there's 3 or 4, there might be 5 muscles in this little thumb pad here. So roll it in and out first. And then just make tiny little circles all around that thumb pad. So I like to start like closer to my wrist and work out towards my thumb and that really, really outer edge. And then I'll bring it back and go a little bit further in towards my palm. Take 2 or 3 or 4 strokes, depending on your hand, and see how it feels. And then we'll draw lines from fingertip to heel of hand. So I do the same sort of practice as I do on my feet. So take each finger line down. And then I go in between. So it's also interesting, or will be interesting, to see if you feel any relief, like in the hands. Maybe you will feel a little release in your shoulder, right? It's all connected. And then we'll just make a little light scribbling. So back and forth, side to side, round and round, just nice and light. If it gets away, just drop back. And then you can set the ball down, just notice your 2 hands, feel the difference. I can notice a difference. It feels like nice and juicy and fluid and like it's melting into the earth. I'm gonna go get my runaway. If you do have the rounds and you have the little black one, go ahead and grab it. If you don't, you can probably use your other finger. I'll show you both ways. So we're gonna take the ball in between each finger, and if it's comfortable to bend the hands, and that might be enough, a little pressure, just getting into the middle there and kind of separating those joints a little bit. You could make it a little bit tighter with your other hand if you wanted to. I like just holding onto it. And I'll just do the other next one. And notice some hands, like this one, isn't quite as mobile. I can't make quite the fist. It's just interesting to see how the body is different. Yeah. Another thing that I've been doing that feels good, because I think I'm getting a little bit of arthritis in this finger here, I just take this little ball and I just take little tiny circles on my fingers. It feels kind of nice, especially I'll spend a little extra time in that joint there, really, really lightly. I'm not really putting any pressure with this hand. I'm kind of just holding it. And it's just that nice light little pressure feeling, a massage. And you can play with it, no right or wrong. You can even roll up into the top of the hand. Good. All right, so we'll get the other hand. So we'll come underneath those finger knuckles, right, like we had started before. So you can take a couple rolls back and forth if you want. Just notice the movement of the knuckles on top of the hand. And we'll just start at the index finger. And again, you have that other hand that can be the pressure. And we'll move to the middle knuckle there. Just let the hand soften around there, nice and light. And we'll go out to the ring finger. Making sure you're breathing. Notice that you're not holding tension somewhere else. We'll get out to the pinky finger there. And we'll roll over to the thumb, little knuckle there. See how that feels. And then one more time, just take a little roll across the knuckle pad. And then we'll just come right into the palm of the hand. Just let the whole hand just plop down over it. A little pressure. Maybe take tiny little circles. I prefer to have my arm supported as well. So now we'll just roll back into the heel of the palm, the heel of the hand, right in the center, so let those fingers relax. You can take, again, those press and releases to find your sweet spot if you want, or just settle in. Just a couple of breaths. Even if it's just for a breath, if you just sort of, check in. Notice your shoulders, relax them, lengthen your spine. Roll out to that pinky side, the heel of the hand. And then we'll roll over into the thumb pad. Give that a little press and hold. Then we'll find that rolling action just side to side in the pad of the heel of the hand from pinky to thumb. Relax as possible, and you can guide with that top hand if you like. And then we'll draw across cross fiber that thumb pad here. We'll just draw in and out. Again, softening the hands. It's very natural to kind of lift these fingers and go like this. Still feels good, but it's better to remember to soften those tissues. Make sure you're breathing. And then we'll just take tiny little circles. Again, so we'll make those little lines in those different muscles. So on that outer edge, just little kind of micro circles from the heel of the hand out to the thumb. We'll move in a little bit. Tiny little circles. Again, doing that 3 or 4 or 5 times, whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to draw those lines from fingertip to heel of hand, right? So using the top hand to guide. Just, a nice even pressure, nice medium pressure. And just take that nice light little scribbling. Just light, 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 round and round, back and forth, side to side. And you can notice after that scribbling how your hands feel. And then if you have your little black ball, you can take them in between the knuckles. And again, you can just make that fist and hold on to it. That might be enough. You can squeeze, or you can use the opposite hand. Get into the second one. Interesting. And then is it between the pinky and the ring? You can, it's not quite the same putting it in between here, but you can grab it and squeeze it if you want. And then again, if you liked that little rolling on top of the fingers. Our fingers are small, but again, it's just a really gentle the gentlest pressure I'm putting, but to me, it just feels really good. And it may or may not feel good to you, and that's okay, no right or wrong. I'm sharing it because I like it. And if you don't have to have it in your practice. And then again, you can, get into the palm. And again, you can always use your fingers too. If you don't have a small ball, you can just use your fingers to kind of get that same little action. So play with them. When you're watching TV, it's really easy to do your hands and feet, right? So again, notice the hands. Open and close, make some circles. Trish, I saw you move your neck, because that'll be the interesting thing to see if anyone feels any releases in their shoulders or their necks. Anyway, and then if you want to do that fun little, see if your fingers touch, keeping the other one straight. Oh, mine touched this time. Get it? Anyway, you could do each one. I like to do the pink. For me, my thumb, it's a good tester, and it's a good stretch for my thumb. I've been doing this a lot lately.